Asian Adele. Right, yeah. Okay, Adele, please answer Tina's question.
Adele? Me too.
Yeah. So we will have the duo tonight. Duo. You know duo?
Yes.
Duo, right? Two singers performing at the same time. Yeah? Right. Very good. So get ready. Get ready. Yeah. Yeah.
I think English is important for job, but it's a little with me, and I want to travel around the world and make a friend who foreigner, and I want to watch a film, a film by maker abroad. And understand it. Yeah.
Which country do you want to travel to?
Maybe Australia.
Okay. This August.
You
Yeah.
can come with me.
Yeah. How can she come with you to Australia?
In my suitcase.
Yes, I think so. Suitcase. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, suitcase. Okay. Do you have a suitcase now, or should I sponsor you? I will give you a suitcase, right? You know suitcase? Yeah. Okay. You will lie in there like a kangaroo, right? And she will, take you to Australia.
I'm bigger than suitcase.
You are bigger than the suitcase? No. I have the biggest suitcase in the world.
But it's not for me.
Okay. Australia. I have a suitcase and I can lie in the suitcase. Yeah. Please take me there. Yeah. Any more questions, class? Don't keep silent. You have a chance to go to Australia today. Yeah. That girl.
What is the difference between Vietnam and Australia?
Big question, right?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between Australia and Vietnam? Lots of differences. So in Australia, there is a Vietnamese community. So there's lots of Vietnamese, mainly in Sydney
Sydney.
and Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah. I'm from Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Yeah. So Brisbane is the third largest city in Australia. So there is an area in Brisbane where a lot of Vietnamese live together, and there's lots of Vietnamese shops and restaurants and markets.
Restaurant.
So yeah, that's a similarity. In terms of differences, I don't know where to start. I think one of the big differences with Eastern culture and Western culture, yeah, so Australia's Western culture, so we focus more on, I guess, doing things independently. Yeah. So I came to came to Vietnam by myself. Yeah. I think that's less common in Vietnam to travel by yourself and to live by yourself. Yeah. So I think that's a big difference between Vietnamese culture and Australian culture.
Yeah. I think so. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah, and I think both have advantages and disadvantages. Yeah.
Do you understand? Oh wow! Super diamond donator. Yeah. Do you understand the big difference between Australia and Vietnam that Gina mentioned? Do you understand? Mention, talk about. Okay? They don't understand it.
Okay, so in Vietnam, I think the family is very important. You all live in one big house with, your brothers, sisters, grandparents, so all big family together. In Australia, we don't live in the same house with the family. So when we finish school, so sometimes high school or university, then the children move away from home.
Yeah.
And they live by themselves.
By themselves?
Yeah, or live with friends.
Okay. At what age did you leave your family?
So I left after I finished university when I was 21.
21 years old, you left your family.
Yeah.
So
My mom was not happy.
but that is usual.
Yeah, it's normal.
But because I know that you still belong to Asian tradition.
Yeah, so I think that has been a challenge for me because my parents, they raised me when I was a child according like the Vietnamese culture, but I'm living in Australia in Australian culture, so it's often quite difficult. Yeah, because a lot of your friends are Australian or they belong to Western culture. Yeah, so there were a lot of things that I was not allowed to do or not allowed to go to because my mum is very traditional and follows the Vietnamese culture. Yeah. So sometimes it was quite hard growing up because you're, Western, Eastern, Australian, Vietnamese. Yeah.
Okay.
Who am I?
Right.
Yeah.
So, because you are something in between. Yeah. Something in between Vietnamese and Australian. But for Australian teenagers, after high school, do they leave their family? Do they move away from their family and live by themselves?
That's quite common, yes.
Common.
Yeah.
So how can they make a living?
So they start work.
They start work.
They study and they work at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes their parents will help them with money. But like me, I studied and I had a part-time job as well. Yeah. But now it's more common for people to stay at home until maybe late 20s, so 25, 26, because they want to save money. Yeah, because everything is so expensive now to buy a house. Yeah, so they live with the parents to save money to buy a house.
Right. So, does any one of you live far from your family without financial support? Does any one of you live far from home without your parents' money support? Yeah? Any one of you? No. Okay? No. Right?
In Australia, we're quite lucky. So for some people, if their parents do not have a lot of money, the government will help support them, students. They understand that students are very important for the future of the country. So they try to help the students with some money to support their living and studying costs.
but no one really wants to depend on the government, you know? Yeah, everybody wants to work to earn a living, to live on their own. Yeah, nobody wants to depend, right? Is that right?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Okay. So I think that today in Vietnam, life is more modern. Many students live far away from home, and they do need support from their parents, but almost half. Some, no, not some. I think half of them work as part-timers, part-time, do a part-time job, and they earn a small amount of money, like $1 million a month, $1 million Vietnam dong, okay, not $1 million dong, $1 million Vietnam dong per month, like $50 a month to $100 a month, okay, and they need another amount of money from their parents. Yeah. Okay, so who is working as a part-timer, or who is doing a part-time job? You see, I say half. Okay, yeah, very dynamic people. Yeah, dynamic, very active. Are you doing a part-time job? Part-time job. Yeah, he's doing a part-time job. Taking care of his wife, children. Yeah, taking them to school and the what you pay. Yeah. Okay, part-time job. Yeah, I also do a part-time job. Yeah, I have to take care of my children, and my wife pay me. She pays me. Yeah, every week.
Pay you with love.
Yeah, she pays me with love, right? Yeah, any more questions, class? Or she will have questions? Everybody wants to hear you.
I have a question of you. I like English. But I speak English very bad.
That's why you're here.
In chat, because I want to be speaker English very well. I know you booking a vacancy in Đà Nẵng City.
Not in Đà Nẵng. In Australia.
Yeah. Do you how do you why do you believe in Đà Nẵng City?
Can you repeat the question?
Why do you believe?
Can you say it again?
Why do you believe in Đà Nẵng City?
So why did I come to Đà Nẵng? Because I lived in Saigon, and then I visited Hanoi, and both are too big. Yeah, and so I thought, what is the next biggest city? And I everyone I spoke with, so my family, friends, they said Da Nang is just beautiful. So I took the risk. I hadn't been to Da Nang before, but I said I'm going to move to Da Nang.
How do you feel in Đà Nẵng? The beach. How do you feel the beach?
What do I think of the beach? Yeah. Oh, the beach is beautiful. Yeah.
Can you swim?
Yes, I can see it. I think the beach is particularly beautiful in the morning, early morning. I like like to go for a swim in the early morning when the beach is nice and calm and the water is really clear and clean and cool. Yeah. And there's not many people. But there's a lot of jellyfish at the moment. Yeah?
Jellyfish, you know?
Yes.
Jellyfish.
Really big.
Jellyfish? Can you define this to them, Tina? Can you define this to them? If you swim and you touch a jellyfish, okay? Yeah. Good. You know jellyfish? Right, jellyfish.
But I think they are not dangerous.
Dangerous, not
Is that
dangerous.
right? Okay. Yeah. In Australia, they are very dangerous. They can kill you.
Sometimes I have a serenity because the beat is very hot. Very hot. Sometimes have I love Mr. Tuấn bring very good. Very good.
But he didn't know the Nhậu 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 song. I don't understand it.
Very well, a lot, very much.
Would you like to go to drink beer tonight?
Just the two of us. Yeah.
Everyone's invited.
Just the two of them.
Yep.
What do you think about Mr. Tuấn?
Oh my God. Should I get out, dude? Yeah? Okay, you have 1 minute. Don't say anything bad about him.
He's very nice, friendly. Yeah, and obviously he's a very good teacher. Yeah, I think so. And from what I can see today, he's very like a fun teacher. Yeah, energetic. Yeah, so that's very nice. That's you're very lucky.
Tina, you can ask the same question to any one of them.
What do you all think of Mr. Tuấn? I think we all agree, yeah? He's a good teacher. Yeah. Are you happy? You can come back now.
Have you finished? Have you finished?
Yes.
Tina, you can ask the same question to any one of them.
I did.
Yeah, really?
I did.
Yeah, tell me then.
Later.
Later.
You can come back now. Anyone have any other questions?
I'm back. I'm back.
Who did you come to Vietnam? Who did you come to Vietnam with?
I came by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
So, do you have any Vietnamese
So I came to Saigon first, and I have an auntie who lives in Saigon. And in last year, my brother, I have a twin brother.
Twin brother.
Yeah, I have a twin brother. He was working in Saigon too, so I lived with my brother. So I knew my auntie and my brother and some of his friends. Yeah. Here in Da Nang, I didn't know anyone when I came to Da Nang, but I have since made some friends, some local friends, and really just from going out and just speaking, sitting in a cafe or somewhere and just speaking to people. So yeah, everyone's been really friendly. I said to my friend when I came to Da Nang, it felt like the whole Da Nang just gave me a big hug and said, "Welcome, Tina." Yeah, I felt really welcome here. It's been really nice.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you want any more questions, or will we go to the main lesson? Yeah.
Will you come back to Vietnam in the future?
Definitely yes.
All right. Definitely yes. Any more questions? Oh, yeah.
Who are you, like your father or mother?
I look like my father. Yeah.
The father, your father is Vietnamese?
So my family is mixed. So I am long song. My parents were born in Vietnam. My grandparents were born in Vietnam, but my great grandparents are from China. So I am 3/4 Chinese, 1/4 Vietnamese. Yeah, but I can't speak Chinese. And I haven't been to China. So I feel like I'm more Vietnamese because my parents spoke to me in Vietnamese when I was young, and they are more Vietnamese than Chinese because our family has been in Vietnam for generations. Yeah.
And you were born in Australia.
Yeah, and I was born in Australia.
Yeah.
So when people ask me, where are you from?
Oh my God, a long story.
Long story.
A long story, okay? Yeah. A long story.
Yeah, because
Any more questions? Yeah? That's all?
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much, Tina. And now we will move to the main lessons with what? Okay? So I'd like you to listen to Tina's question. What questions only? And you have to try to discuss with your friends in pairs.